Rapid fire EV questions. Let's go. Hi there, my name is Mike from Greenway Electric, and sometimes when I take my electric vehicle to a car show, I get pelted with a lot of different questions, rapid fire style. So let's go over some of those. The first question is, how much does it cost to charge my electric vehicle? The answer is it depends on where you're charging it. So most of your charging will be done at home, so you can take your electricity bill, look at your kilowatt hour cost, and multiply that by the number of miles you drive per day or kilometers. The average electric vehicle will travel about 3 miles or 5 kilometers on a single charge. If you look at your electricity rates, if you don't have an electricity bill handy, the average cost for electricity is 15 cents per kilowatt hour. So you can take that and take your 15 cents and divide by 3 miles per kilowatt hour, and then multiply by your number of miles per day. For example, if you're doing 9 miles per day, divide by 3, so that's going to be 3 kilowatt hours times 15 cents per kilowatt hour is 45 cents per day is what your cost is going to be. The second place you might be charging your electric vehicle is going to be at work, and your employer may not charge you anything to plug in at work, or they may charge you a fee depending on what it is, but that will depend, of course, on the employer situation. The third choice you have of charging your electric vehicle is going to be at public charging stations. This is typically the most expensive option. And then depending on the type of charger, if you use a level 3 or rapid charger, those are going to be the most expensive. If you use a level 2 or destination charger, those ones are not charging quite as fast, and those ones will be less expensive. But you can count on somewhere around 5 cents per mile when charging at home, or about 3 cents per kilometer. The next question is, how long does it take to charge my electric vehicle? And of course, that depends on where you're charging it and how far you're driving every day. But again, the most common place you're going to be charging your electric vehicle is going to be at home, and that's where your charging is going to take a longer period of time because you just plug it in when you get home and it'll be full in the morning. So that will take an hour to 2 to 4 to several hours depending on how far you're driving. But if you need to travel long distances and charge up faster, there's going to be rapid chargers that are available along the way along your route, and those ones will take 10 to 15 minutes to recharge your car and get you over to the next charging station. And then the other type of charging is going to be either at your workplace or in destinations, for example at a hotel or at a mall or shopping, and those ones will take a few hours to charge your car depending on the speed of the charger. So it can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes on the rapid chargers to several hours overnight at your home charger. Okay, the next question I get asked a lot is, how far can the electric vehicle go? And of course, for every vehicle, that's going to have a different answer. But you would need to take a look at the amount of kilowatt hours that your battery has in your vehicle, or you can take a look at online sources to see what the estimated range is for the vehicle, and those typically are in ideal conditions. So you may have a battery a certain size, or you may have a range of a certain distance, and you can take that as the estimated range for the vehicle. And then you need to also take into account other different situations. So typically those ranges are listed in good to favorable conditions, at moderate to highway speeds. But if you're traveling in inclement weather, if it's raining, you could subtract 5% off of that range. If you're traveling in winter, you can subtract 10 to 15 to 20% in moderate winters, or up to 40% in extreme winters. You can also subtract the amount if you are doing high speed highway or freeway driving. You can increase your range though if you're doing city driving, especially in nice favorable conditions. The other thing you might want to do is to subtract 10% just for a confidence factor. So if it says you have a 300 mile or 500 kilometer range, you might want to subtract 10% from that just so that you have a little bit of extra buffer there. But online will generally give you an estimate of the range for your vehicle. The next question is, how often do you have to replace the battery in the electric vehicle? And that's a common misconception that it needs to be replaced. We know from our experience with cell phones or laptops, those batteries tend to degrade and fail after a few years. And so we're assuming the same thing happens with electric vehicles, except the electric vehicle takes good care of the battery. There's something called a battery management system, which is in place, which takes care of the battery and makes sure it's not overcharged or undercharged or being charged too quickly or discharge too quickly when you're driving it. And so it is intended to last the life of the vehicle. Most new electric vehicles come with a very extensive battery warranty because the battery is the most expensive part of the car after the motor, and that can be 8-year warranty, 10-year warranty. Often it will be 100,000 miles or 160,000 kilometers, and the battery is really not ever intended to be replaced. So that's why you may be struggling to find a cost on a replacement battery, or you may have found someone that was charged $20,000 for a replacement battery. There's a few of those out there as well, but generally you should not expect to have to replace the battery in your car, and any new car will come with a full warranty, and a used car will also come with the remainder of the factory warranty. The next question is, do electric vehicles break down more than gas or diesel vehicles? And like any machine, they eventually do break, but there are a lot less moving parts in electric vehicles. If you think of a gasoline engine, there's hundreds of moving parts. In an electric vehicle, there's a single moving part in the electric motor. And electric motors are very robust and very reliable. And so there's still moving parts, of course, in the vehicle. Your tires and your suspension and brakes, those types of things are still needing to be maintained and will be needing replacement at some point in time. But generally, the electric vehicles do have fewer moving parts, and as the technology matures, they are getting a lot more reliable. The next question is, can you charge your electric vehicle in the rain? Absolutely not. Just kidding. Yes, you can charge your electric vehicle in the rain, and they're designed for that, whether rain, sleet, snow, just like the reliable mail carrier. You can also charge a reliable electric vehicle in the rain or the snow or the sleet as well. The charging ports are designed so that when you plug it in, there's no power going to them immediately, and there's different contactors that will engage when it's safe to do so. So the car will communicate with the charger and make sure that there's a secure connection first before it actually starts to flow significant amounts of power through it. So it's very safe to do so, and you can plug and unplug your car in the rain, charge it in the rain, and you can even drive them in the rain too. That works as well. But I would not take it into the pool, though. I wouldn't do that. The next question is, what happens when you run out of charge? And similar to a gas vehicle, the car will stop. But then what the heck do you do? Yes, so you can't, kind of grab a jerry can and go over to the nearest gas station and fill it up. Hopefully you are near a plug, or you might have to run an extension cord to fill up your car. But if you're in the middle of nowhere, you're likely going to have to get towed to a charging station or to somewhere where there's some electricity. And so the thing you would want to make sure to do, though, is before you run out of charge, the car is not going to just suddenly magically run out of charge unexpectedly. That never happens. The cars have a lot of warnings on the dash. They show you the overall state of the charge, how full your battery is, or your gas tank sort of thing. So your battery, how full it is, and how far you are down in charge, and how close you are getting to empty. So it will give you several warnings before that happens. And many vehicles also will give you a warning and say, you're approaching a low charge. It's time to start charging. Did you want to search for charging stations? And they'll use the GPS software to find you and route you to a charging station if necessary. So if you do end up running out of charge, it's not going to be surprise, or it's not going to be unexpected. As an experiment, of course, you might try to run out of charge, and that's fine. But you would need to expect to either to be towed or run a long extension cord to the nearest power outlet. So that's some rapid fire questions that I get when I go to an electric vehicle or just a general car show, and people ask me the same questions over and over. So those are some quick answers for you. Hopefully this video is helpful or informative. If you found it helpful or informative, I would appreciate it if you can give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing for future videos. Thanks a lot and have a great day.